Sup nerds, and welcome back to the Helpware Nerds YouTube channel. Today is a very special reaction video because it's a recommended video, a requested video by ASMRPongpoom. Thank you for the request and recommendation. This is going to be a blast to do. We are reacting to Toku Professor's 3-minute introduction to Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Now, I know a little bit about Super Sentai because of Power Rangers. Most of the fight choreography, Megazord action, and suits are taken from Super Sentai with some twists and turns here and there, such as the fact that Tommy's White Ranger suit is actually from a different Super Sentai suit than the rest of the Mighty Morphin suits, as well as Megaforce's Super Megaforce suits are from a different Super Sentai series than the Megaforce suits, and have a completely different motif, so that doesn't really match up. I know that, and I know a little bit about like the tropes and stuff like that, so it'll be interesting to learn what I don't know, and I'm really looking forward to diving into the Kamen Rider one, because I'm going in blind when it comes to Kamen Rider. I know nothing about Kamen Rider. I've never looked into it. To be honest, until it was recommended to me, I haven't even heard of it or looked into it. So this is going to be a blast for me to look into and react to. You're going to get my live reactions to this. This is going to be absolutely fun to do. But with that being said, a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into the video. Let me know your thoughts on Super Sentai and Kamen Rider in the comment section down below. And if you've got any requests or recommendations for reaction videos or tier lists or anything like that, let us know in the comments or over on our Discord channel, which you'll find in the description down below, as well as if you want to stay up to date for when we do content, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. But with that being said and all the housekeeping out of the way, let's dive into this video and let's have a blast. But yeah, let's get into it.
Today we're looking at one of Japan's favorite superhero franchises, Toei's long-running Kamen Rider series.
Okay, we're going to start off with Kamen Rider.
The very first Kamen Rider season premiered on April 3rd, 1971.
So, it came out in the 1970s.
In the show, a motorcycle racer named Takeshi Hongo is kidnapped and transformed into a powerful grasshopper-themed cyborg.
So they're bug-themed cyborgs created by a terrorist. He's a bug-themed cyborg created by a terrorist organization that broke away and now fights the other members of that group.
The hero would undergo a transformation by activating a special belt powered by the wind.
Okay. So he had like his own little Kamen Rider morpher. That's cool.
For episode 10, the actor who played Hongo broke both of his legs while attempting a motorcycle stunt, which resulted in his character being temporarily replaced with a second Kamen Rider.
So, when he got injured, they replaced him with a secondary Kamen Rider and gave it a similar backstory. That's actually really funny and interesting.
The series lasted 98 episodes. And
wow, that's actually not bad. It got 98 episodes.
A sequel series, Kamen Rider V3, began airing the week after the first show ended.
For a show about cyborg bugs that ride motorcycles and fight kaijin from a terrorist organization, it got 98 episodes and then was immediately followed up a week later by a sequel series. That's insane. Wow. I'm learning so much. I'm hyped. I want to go watch Kamen Rider. Like I said, I knew nothing about Kamen Rider coming into this video. I've learned absolutely everything from the Toku Professor's video. So you're telling me this motorcycle rider got kidnapped by a terrorist organization, turned into a grasshopper cyborg, then breaks away, turns himself into a superhero, fights against that same terrorist organization using the powers they gave him. That gets 98 episodes. Then they went, let's do a sequel series. And when the original actor gets injured in the first series, they're like, well, we're not going to pause the show. We're just going to replace the actor, create a new Kamen Rider 2. He's going to have a similar backstory, and these guys can team up from time to time when the original Kamen Rider comes back. That is insane. That is absolutely insane.
But over time, new installments came out less frequently.
So it carried on through the 70s and 80s by the looks of things.
And helped get the ball rolling on the next production, Kamen Rider Kuga.
Oh, it came back in the 2000s. So it went on hiatus then, it seems, through the 90s and came back in the 2000s.
And from then on, a new Kamen Rider show would release every single year.
And it's been back in the 2000s up until 2003, which is when this video came out. I'll have to check to see if it's still up today, but like at the time of the video, it was still going on.
Each new Kamen Rider living in a separate reality with...
They did a multiverse. Did they get to the multiverse before the MCU? I know that Marvel Comics had the multiverse, but did they get to the multiverse before the MCU?
Also try to appeal to younger kids more to drive toy sales.
Obviously, toy sales are important. Like, that's how it works.
Finally, the writers from the various universes are often united.
Okay, they did an ensemble movie. Did they get there before Marvel? Because if they did, then they have one of the first cinematic universes. That would be insane. That is insane. I'm going to come back with my thoughts on this in 1 second. But wow. Final thoughts on this video before we move on to Super Sentai. What the heck is this show? Like, I know I keep saying it, but motorcycle bug-themed cyborgs that were created by the villains of the show, the original being a terrorist organization that creates them, they break away in some way, and then they end up fighting against them. I know I keep calling them morphers, but they have their Kamen Rider belt thing that they use to turn into the Kamen Rider. He did say a keyword, but he was talking so fast it slipped past my ears. I'll put it up on screen so you guys can see it, or you can go check these videos out because they will be in the description down below, as well as the channel will be linked, so that you guys can go and check out all of Toku Professor's stuff, as well as the 2 videos we're reacting to. But, wow, this was insane. I'm super hyped. If I didn't have to go and watch the Super Sentai video, I would be jumping off right now to go watch Kamen Rider, because this is nuts. Like, I've got no words really. This is so fun. I can understand why this became so popular. Just from watching this, just from learning about this, learning about what they are and what they became from this, and learning about like the fact that the creator of like this manga writer helped create them, and then they grew in popularity, went on hiatus in the 90s, and then came back just shortly after his death in the 2000s, and maintained popularity up until 2023, which is when this video by Toku Professor came out. I don't know if they're still popular today. I will double check that, and I will make sure that that is up on screen as a note so you guys can see if they are still active. So editor Ethan, you know what job you've got to do. But like, yeah, I feel like this is so good. Like, all of this is so cool. So while I digest that, let's jump on into Super Sentai.
It's time to cover the Super Sentai franchise.
This one should be fun. Like I said, I knew it's the backbone of Power Rangers. So this one should be fun to watch.
Apparently based on a scrapped idea for a show about 5 Kamen Riders that fought together.
Wow, so it literally bounces off of Kamen Rider.
Onto a different project and partnered with Marvel Comics.
So I did know about the Japanese Spider-Man show. I knew that it was a thing. I didn't realize it was by the same people that did Super Sentai after the creator of Kamen Rider stepped away. I also didn't realize that the first 2 series of Super Sentai wasn't initially considered Super Sentai because they didn't have a mech. So did the mech idea come from the Japanese Spider-Man show? Because he had a mech. So that's an interesting bit of lore there. This video is informative. I'm enjoying learning some of this stuff that I didn't know.
Fever J was another success story, and after its release, Toei began to put out a new show about a team of young heroes in colorful costumes every single year.
Wow. Super Sentai has 47 shows.
First two follow-ups had Marvel copyrights.
So Marvel was connected to Super Sentai. Wow. I do feel really good about making the comparisons between the MCU and Kamen Rider in the last section now. Because Marvel was literally connected to the sort of spin-off, really.
He adapted into a Power Rangers show by Saban.
I knew that it was Saban that took the footage of Power Rangers and Super Sentai and made Power Rangers. So from this point on, there's not much I don't really know. Yeah, the motifs of them changing into costumes and the monsters having their villainous plot, and that's all very Power Rangery. Obviously, it gets Americanized, and obviously the B plot is always changed. But once they get into the suits, it's all very similar. So, because it's literally the same footage.
There's also always been a toy selling aspect to these shows as well.
Of course there's toy sales involved. There's always toy sales involved. So the final thoughts on this, as I said, much of this is very similar to Power Rangers with what he went through. The fact that there's always a life lesson. There's always, from the series that would become Mighty Morphin, there's always like a 6th Ranger. There's always stuff like that. Some of it's very hard-hitting. A lot of the hard-hitting stuff doesn't really get translated over. Yes, there's some of it does, with the death of the the Pink Power Ranger in Lost Galaxy and stuff like that. But not a lot of it does. And I know that Super Sentai can get a lot darker than Power Rangers does. But I don't feel like this was as big of a shock value as the Kamen Rider video was. I feel like a lot of this was very much what I was expecting. So yeah, I don't think there was much for me to react to on this one. But again, I did find it very interesting that it stemmed from Kamen Rider, and I'm glad that I did watch them in that order. If I'd have watched them in the other order, I don't think it would have hit as hard, so I'm glad I did watch them in that order. But that being said, I think we'll go to the closing of the video. So if you've watched this far in the video, thank you for sticking around and listening to me ramble about these two shows. I am super hyped about Kamen Rider. I don't think this video the Super Sentai video added much more to my knowledge bank of Super Sentai and Power Rangers, more than what I already knew. But the Kamen Rider one, that added a lot more to it, and definitely added a bit more weight to the Power Rangers and Super Sentai bank than what I originally knew, because it basically solidified some stuff. I didn't know that Kamen Rider was the grandfather of all of it, really. If you think about it, if Power Rangers is the child of Super Sentai, then Super Sentai is the child of Kamen Rider, then Kamen Rider is the grandparent of Power Rangers. And I didn't know that coming into this. So I did learn something from this. I also learned that I really need to go watch Kamen Rider. So thank you, ASMRPongpoom, for recommending these videos. I had a blast watching them. It was absolutely fun to learn all this information and get to learn a bit more about like the foundation of Power Rangers and the history behind one of my favorite shows growing up. So I do appreciate you recommending these to me. And as I said in the video, if you haven't had the chance to go check out Toku Professor's channel and videos for yourself, They will be in the description down below for you to go check them out, because I really do think you should go watch these. They are very informative, and there is tons of others on his channel, so that you can get your inner Toku nerd out and learn about this genre, and learn that you can enjoy some stuff that you didn't know about, like me with Kamen Rider. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to call this video to an end, and I really hope you guys did enjoy, and I really hope you guys do go check out Toku Professor's channel. And with that being said, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, and say it with me everybody, stay nerdy.